I want to preface this video by saying I felt kind of conflicted in making it. There are plenty of people who've spoken to the personal experiences of the topics I'm talking about here, and I've linked to many others' work in the description of this video. Please do check it out before, after, or even instead of watching this. I wasn't sure I should make this because it feels like taking up limited space right now. But the reality is, I do have this platform, I do have this voice, and it feels like it's unacceptable to be silent on certain issues right now. I am still learning, and I expect to still be learning for as long as I live, but in the meantime, it's important that I say what I can. Climate change affects all of us, but climate change does not affect all of us equally. We sometimes tell ourselves that climate change is the great leveler. We sometimes tell ourselves that the reason to be scared of climate change is because it threatens humans with imminent extinction. But really, we know that this is unlikely. After all, we humans can adapt. We can change our lifestyles, we can move. Gosh, if things get really bad, we can hide in bunkers. But who is this we? Honestly, I guess it's people like me. People who can use money, social networks, and borders to protect themselves from the worst of it. For the richest among us, a crisis can just be an opportunity to make even more money. But what if you don't have these safety nets and supportive structures? What if you're already living on the edge, struggling for food, for safety, for money? Well, then a disrupted harvest, rising seas, or an extreme weather disaster can destroy your livelihood, can end your life. Climate change reinforces divides between and within societies. The poorest countries will struggle the most with scarce resources and be hit hardest by extreme weather disasters like heat waves and floods. And the most vulnerable citizens within countries are forced to suffer from the worst pollution. In both cases, these are the people who have emitted the least, yet have the fewest tools to adapt or seek justice. There are many factors that disadvantage people, but one of them is certainly race. Within countries and between continents, it's people of colour and indigenous people that bear the brunt of environmental destruction. So how will we respond as people fight to survive? After a disaster, who will we support and who will we ignore? Will we help families fleeing for their lives, or will we build walls and let them drown on our shores? And will we gas and arrest people for having the audacity to demand safety? I'm scared that 2020 is already showing us the answers to these questions. You see, my biggest fear for climate change isn't something hypothetical. It's that we'll continue what we're doing, that we'll continue with environmental destruction, and that we'll continue to silence those that suffer the worst consequences of our actions. This is why the idea of imminent human extinction isn't just a scientific stretch, it's also actively unhelpful. If we convince ourselves that extinction is the threat, then we can convince ourselves that billionaires building bunkers and spaceships is the solution. But the real danger is that we'll continue to heap hardship on those that are already the worst off. And the solution to that is climate justice. That means fighting climate change by fighting inequality and protecting those that are the most vulnerable to the changes we're causing. Fixating on human extinction is unhelpful for the same reasons as fixating on all lives matter. Because of course all lives matter, but not all lives are under the same threat. It's why instead we say, for state violence, for pollution, for poverty, for climate change, that Black lives matter. I can't speak to the experiences of people of colour or people fighting on the front lines of climate change. But I've included plenty of links in the description so you can both read and support more. Stay safe, and let's build a world that's safe for all our siblings. Until next time, bye.